Times when in entire sections where I'm working at, I'm the only person of color.
Ah, so you feel uncomfortable if there are too many white people around. Got it.
It ages you to have to pretend to walk into an event and act like you give so many damns about endives.
Endives? What are endives? No, seriously, I don't think I've ever actually heard that word before. Okay, an endive is a leaf vegetable belonging to the genus Colorism, which includes several similar bitter-leafed vegetables. Okay, I'm obviously missing something. Is she complaining about having to attend events on subjects she knows nothing about, like endives? Because I would assume as a freelance writer, she would take whatever jobs that she can get. Or is she saying that endives are something exclusively associated with white people? Because if that's what she's saying, that seems a little racially stereotypical. She writes about her struggles with body image, race, and stereotypes. Like being averse to white people, maybe?
Growing up, a lot of it was just, you had to have a thigh gap, you had to be very thin, you had to be blonde, you had to be very tall. Like, there was just very few people look like that naturally.
You are absolutely right. Few people look like that naturally. Most people who look like that may use hair dye to be blonde, but they might also be working really hard to stay in shape. Because life doesn't often hand you the things that you desire. You have to earn them.
Visibility and representation in media matters because right now the industry is half as diverse as the general American public.
Though I am not sure that she will, our speaker really needs to define for me what she means by diverse, and then show me some numbers about how the media industry does not align statistically to the population. She may very well be correct, but without more information, I am dubious.
Don't you think that complaining that you didn't get a job because you're white sounds a little white privilegey?
Excuse me for being pissed that I didn't get a job that I know I can do because of something completely out of my control.
Welcome to the entire existence of people of color, Jane.
Okay, well, that came out of nowhere. What am I supposed to take away from that clip? That being denied employment on the basis of race is something that you shouldn't complain about if you are white? Or that a white person being discriminated against for their skin color is somehow a just outcome? Or that all people of color are bitter, racist victims? I'm really confused. A real-life bold type. Talking about your personal insecurities and complaining about the physical appearance of others are examples of being bold. Got it.
If you want more access to a lot of diverse stories, you will need to hire more diverse people who understand these nuances, who won't be certain aspects of those stories that feel maybe awkward or like very stereotypical. And so you need a lot of different types of people, not just racial backgrounds, but gender and class as well.
Diverse people understand nuances that white people never will. So, in hiring employees, the filters that need to be applied do not include merit, but rather race, gender, and class. Because we wouldn't want to make anyone uncomfortable having to hear about endives. Got it.
Having representation or having discussions now about representation is one of the things that motivated me to write essays like the ones that I write, to pitch stories like the ones that I pitch. And without it, I don't think I would be where I am now.
So, without the presence and cultivation of identity politics, our speaker would not have a career. Got it.
I think we need to look at how privilege works in media. There are so many stories that aren't being covered, and there are stories that are covered without somebody who understands certain cultural nuances.
Translation: if you are not of the correct race, gender, or class, you are incapable of understanding certain things, because race, gender, and class are inextricably tied to certain cultures, as well as obstructing one's ability to think or empathize outside of their own experience. Got it.
People also idolize somebody who is lighter, even in communities of color, who like they're still thick, but like they want somebody who's lighter, maybe has straighter hair, lighter eyes. And so it kind of permeates a lot of how I saw myself growing up and things that I did to try to supposedly better myself, even though it wasn't making me any better or worse, it was just trying to fit into a standard.
Yes, I have heard about and discussed colorism before. One of my oldest videos actually touches on that subject quite a bit, in fact. And our speaker's apparent distaste for the practice of colorism has me wondering, is that where her aversion to white people comes from? She's grown up seeing lighter skin as something to look upon with jealousy or scorn, perhaps? I have no idea, but it does make me curious.
I like my legs a lot more now. I like myself a lot more now. There's more empowerment of different skin tones, different body types, and that has made a huge difference. Representation is very, very important for people of color in this country, because when you grow up, especially at a very young age, you don't see yourself anywhere.
Well, on the one hand, I am glad that our speaker has developed a bit more self-esteem over the years. But on the other hand, there's more empowerment of different skin tones. So, skin color has a power to it? What kind of power? How is someone empowered by their skin tone? It's not like they worked for it or anything, and it says nothing about who they are, simply what they look like. And to that latter part, if our speaker doesn't see anyone that looks like her at the events that she attends now, I can only imagine that there were not many people who looked like her during the bulk of her professional career. Which makes me wonder, how has she ever done anything in life if she has not seen someone who looks like her do it beforehand?
Once you start to see yourself, nothing else becomes acceptable. So you stop settling for less. You stop settling for stereotypes about bodies and about cultures.
Stereotypes about bodies and cultures. Bodies, you say? Well, tell me again about all of those people who are just born thin with thigh gaps and blonde hair. Cultures, you say? Well, tell me again about white people and endives. Now, what was that you were saying about stereotypes? Unless you happen to be born with attractive features or white skin, because those types of people don't need anyone to advocate for them, right?
Right?
I got thighs, and I love them because you need your thighs. They're there for a reason.
Our speaker is really paranoid about her thighs, because she sounds more like she's trying to convince herself here rather than anyone else.
When I see other people saying, I've wanted to read a piece like this for a long time, that motivates me to say or to keep writing, because I'm writing stuff that I would have liked to read for a long time.
Yeah, Affirmation from an audience predisposed to like your work is a really big accomplishment, isn't it? And on a completely unrelated note, be sure to like, share, and subscribe!
Being able to write that for myself and for other people with the same experience has motivated me a lot. It's like, great, I'm not the only one. And I love that so much. So, if you got thighs, get it.
If you've got thighs, get it. Get what? Your essays? Or maybe exercise?
Goodbye, pants. I mean, I might sew them one more time, but like, I don't know, they're on their way out.
Right. Well, that looks more like a skirt than it does pants. But, hey, what do I know? I'm neither female, nor Puerto Rican, nor Dominican, so I'm probably blind to the cultural nuance. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go and dine upon the food of my people. Goldfish and Dr. Pepper. What? Did you think I was going to say endives? Well, you obviously do not understand my thighs. As always, thank you for watching.